Welcome to the Estate Professionals Mastermind Podcast, a podcast for estate professionals who earn more, work less, and make a huge difference in their communities. If you get value out of this free content, be sure to check out ProbateMastery.com, where you can get live classes, access to weekly coaching, and valuable courses. To learn more, visit ProbateMastery.com. Now let's jump into this week's content.
Hey everybody, this is Dave Pinnell. I'll be at my office computer in like 6 minutes. I was running late from an appointment, but I'm supposed to host the call today. I'll be there momentarily, I believe. You can hear me, maybe.
Okay, thanks, David. Yeah, so we'll just hang out for like 5 minutes. Thank
Yeah, I'm about 6 minutes from the house, so just bear with me just a little bit.
you. No
I got
problem.
stuck in traffic coming back from this
All
appointment.
right.
If y'all have any questions, definitely free to answer anything right now. I think we'll go over some attorney events that I'm putting together that will help. Just it's another layer, another lead source for probate that I'm totally leaning into this year. So if anybody has a question, just go ahead and speak up. Or do I have to take you off mute?
Can you
I
hear me?
could handle
Oh, go
it,
ahead.
so no problem. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Lou.
Oh no, I'm just being the facilitator, but go ahead, Christy. Yeah, with your question.
Yeah, one of the things that I've had people ask me about is, I called them up and went over everything, and they said, well, you know what? We can't find if they have a trust or a will, and we don't know how to even figure out who the attorney is. I mean, I know I'm not an attorney to give them any advice, but how do you go about doing that if you need to?
Great question. I would ask them why they need the will or the trust to open up more conversation. I've always been taught to hang on. So
Okay, so it looks like David had to take a call. So for those of you that are just joining, Bruce is out with the flu today. And so David Pinnell, who's also a coach, a probate coach, will be hosting today's call. And he's en route home. And so we'll be starting a little bit late, but in about 5 minutes, we should be proceeding with the call. If you folks have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat, and we'll get to those questions. And sorry about that, Christy. Yeah, as soon as David gets back,
I'm
we'll
back.
continue. Okay, great.
I'm on my phone, so someone called my number. But Christy, so
Yeah.
so you called the probate person, and they're wondering if they need a will or trust to complete the probate.
Yeah, so like the last person said, you know what? I'm the beneficiary of the will, and I know that, but we can't find anything. And the only one we can find is an old one. And one of the
Great.
things I really didn't know is it filed with the courts if it's a trust? Is it automatically filed?
No,
Okay.
it's the attorney will have it in their office. Usually, the attorney in Texas, they keep the original and then they give a copy to the family.
Right, right.
I don't
And
know
that's
why
funny
that.
because it was Texas. It is Texas. They don't even know the
Okay.
attorney. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
common though. That's common.
Yeah.
Did they file probate? Someone seeking to be the PR?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this
It's
just
just
takes a little common, we spend a lot of time trying to convert leads and think about marketing things, but it really helped me to read about 30 books on probate and or just scan through them. I'm not, I didn't read page by page, and then dealing with people, if they're not seeking to be the PR, this is probably a family member that's most likely held over in the house, and they want, or they lost the spouse, and the son or the daughter or a family member is trying to be the PR. So if they can't find the will for that person, it's I don't know. It's you have to wonder if they're being the PR or they're trying to file to be the executor, executor Trex or whatever. I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, 2 minutes. I'll be on my office computer. Anybody else have a question?
Hi, David. You were mentioning, hi, my name is Marisol. I'm in Miami, and I was wondering about paying for leads, generation for probate cases. I recently asked this question of AI as everybody's using AI, and it came up with
Mhm.
foreclosures daily that actually gives you leads. Do you have any recommendations at all? Thank you. Drive safe.
Yeah, I'm back. For leads, all the leads or U.S. probate is my source. I recommend you buying the leads and spending the most you can, so you're more committed to the lead source. If you're going after free leads or going to the courthouse, you're probably spending too much time looking for the lead than actually converting the lead for business. And when 25% of your list is only going to use you for business, it's there's not really an advantage of getting a cheaper source, if that helps.
Thank you. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I always pay for the most expensive leads I can because I want the best data for my system, and it makes me work it more. I'm more committed to making sure I'm getting something out of the list. Okay. I'll be on just a second. I'm gonna get off of here. There we go.
And David, what was the name of the place you go for leads?
In Texas, it's U.S. probate leads. Here, let me cancel this.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice.
David, do you think pulling the conservator information is beneficial as well, as opposed to just pulling probates?
Who is a conservative? What's that term?
The
Maybe something in a different
conservator?
state. Oh, for the PR?
Yeah.
I get that information with all my data. So I would just recommend going with the company that gives you the full record of the descendant's address, the PR, the phone numbers. That way you don't have to skip trace anything, waste any time. To to, to give you an example why you don't want to waste your time, I've closed 5 probates so far this year and made $3,000 a day. Add that up. I don't want to give that math on YouTube. If you could do the math out of those 5 deals, so 46 days out of the year. I don't want to waste any time looking for leads or going through the data. I want to have someone give it to me, put it into my system, and call or mail or retarget.
So David, I'm getting my list from US probate as well. And so you just they have phone numbers for PR. So I just when I put in my CRM, in my dialer, I just go ahead and call the PR and that's it. I don't have to do anything. That's cool. Okay.
I would. If you're starting out, absolutely. Build up your capital by I recommend you make the calls, then you do the mail. The mail will get you the leads inbound for people that are not ready but curious if they don't call you, and then you can retarget them with another company. Through again, you want to go with someone that's reputable, but a company like GGMS in Florida, Mike Gallagher's company, to retarget, and because in my system now, I've been buying leads for so long, for 7 years. I've got like people probably 40,000 data points, different, even PRs that are closed out. You still have that age group, so I constantly want to advertise to that age group.
What is retarget?
It's the age group that we're in pre-probate or probate or affidavit heirship or distressed real estate. It's that age group that you're going to get that type of lead in. My sole focus in probate is to buy houses that I could either assign or flip or remodel. I've found that in my market, they don't really want to list the properties 99% of the time. And I beat out every single realtor that goes to the appointment and tells them they have to do all these
repairs to put on the market. I beat every single one of them, and I just got one yesterday. I just got a listing yesterday. He hasn't signed yet, but he will. I talked him down from $60,000 from another realtor's pricing to 150. It's only $150,000 listing, but we'll go on the market in 14 days, and we'll sell it right away. Some other agent said, "Hey, you got to fix this and this, and I'll sell it for 60,000 or 210." No, I actually turned it down. I told him I cannot take your business at 210 or 200. I'm not going to do it. There's 36 houses sitting on the market right now in your area within 4-mile radius. You either going to sell the neighbor's house or you're going to sell your house. You get to choose. And I was hoping that was I record all my calls and I was going to share that, but I didn't record it for some reason. It was such a good call.
There's a question here from Catherine. She's saying, I'm brand new to buying probate leads from ATL. Where should I go to get a full educational 101 to start my pursuit of these people? I know it's a long haul, but I need to know where the beginning module is for this industry. Thank you so very much. Well, I could answer that one real quickly, is taking the probate foundations. It's a webinar. It's going to take place next Wednesday. So Catherine, I'll post a link on how to sign up for that, and Bruce will be teaching that next Wednesday. I believe it's at 12:30 Eastern time. Sorry about that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. So would you guys like to go over what I'll share my screen if I can. I don't know I think I have that ability, Lou. About what we're doing I'm kind of excited about we're sponsoring an event every month this year, except for March, because I'll be out of town for almost 2 weeks during one of their events. But for April, we're getting ramped up it's called a bench bar. It's all the attorneys in Dallas-Fort Worth that'll be there for classes. She said in attendance, there should be like 4,000 attorneys there, which is pretty cool.
How do we find something like that in our city?
Yeah, it's just it's right under your nose. It's crazy that for years, I didn't even realize you could join as a regular person to these attorney associations. And for me, every class costs money. So it's just like if you're a realtor, you go to class, they have the same classes. They have a different acronym for them. But you could join their association. I joined the Tarrant County one for $250. So expensive. My gosh. And then I purchased the whole membership list for $500. And then I just got done sponsoring their first class, which was the wrong class to sponsor, but we figured out as we go. It's an appellate attorneys. They don't have any estate cases. But still, I got in front of 55 attorneys for lunch for 4 hours. But you could join, look up your local county association for attorneys and go there and ask them how you could join as a sponsor or, or support or volunteer. Just get in the building and ask. There's a marketing director that would love to talk to you. So friendly too. She helps me out and sends me emails all the time about things I can pay for now. It's great.
Awesome. We have a couple of hands up now. So up next we have Lionel. Go ahead, Lionel.
Sandra or Lionel?
Hi, this is Sandra.
Go ahead, Sandra.
My question to you is, what is the correct response to someone who gets your letter and questions your source for their information? Should we say that we're purchasing it from a service or that we actually go to the office? What is
you're going to build trust right away. Sorry to cut you off. You want to build trust, just be honest with them. I just say I buy the list from a data source. I don't give the name unless they ask. It's provided to us as realtors, and we just market to you. But I never get that question though. I don't know why it always comes up. I never get that question.
I normally get that when they're pissed off.
Yeah, that's good.
That, and then after I shared that with them, the normal or typical response is take me off your list. I don't want any phone calls. So then I take them off the list. But I was just wondering, should we be saying that we actually go to the office and maybe that makes it feel more trustworthy, or
You just want to do whatever's comfortable that makes you come across the most honest, I guess. I don't have the smooth answer for that because it's, I don't really get that question because I don't make the calls as much as I used to. My letters bring in all the business. So, yeah, they're ready to do something, either list the property or sell it when they call me. But yeah, if you're
Okay.
making a call out and they ask you where you got their information, I just say that I purchased it from the courthouse.
Okay, thank you.
It's all public record, and they know it's public record too. They have to sign a waiver here in Texas.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Lionel.
Oh, hi. Sorry about that. Um, I'm in the in California, and you mentioned about buying the property as directly, and unfortunately you can get them at a much lower price. How can you do that? I mean, because in California, if the property is sold less than 90% of the court appraised value, we need to put it, we cannot just go ahead and sell it outright.
So you have to get approval from the court in California to sell for less than 90%. That's just a step you have to go through, unfortunately. Here they leave it up to the executor to set the pricing with whatever they want for it. So I never have to jump through that hurdle either. Thank God. That's a good one.
What state are you in?
Texas.
Ah, I see. Okay. Okay.
But I wouldn't, so is there, run me through that. So if you get an appointment to go look at a house and it's distressed, it needs a lot of work, you make an offer, then you have to go to the court and get approval, or they have to get approval
Well,
to sell it?
it has to go. We always, majority of the time, or for me, I put everything in multiple listings, so there's not going to be any question from the heirs.
Okay.
Yeah, so just to make sure that it's not going to convert to a probate with court confirmation, or
Yeah. So I guess you're talking about listings. So yeah, there's no reason if you're going to take a listing for retail and you're going to convince them to list with you, that you shouldn't be selling for less than 97% anyways, the retail value. But if it needs a lot of work, I wouldn't even list it. The heirs are going to communicate with the executor of the will, and they're going to work together. You don't have to. I never have to prove anything to any heir. I never have, and I don't look to ever doing that in the future. I never get in the weeds of anybody's probate. I make an offer. I explain why the offer is where it's at. I explain I can list it for them if they want to, and I show the two net sheets what they're going to get. And most times it's about 9,000 more by going retail with all the fees and commissions and time delays and tax money that they have to pay based on the time they have to wait. So it could be $40,000 difference, but by the time they pay everything, it's the same as taking a cash offer. And it's if you didn't catch it, that's one of the biggest things that you could help someone get to a decision. If they're going to make $100,000 by listing a house for retail, and they could take 75,000 as a cash offer, they're going to already pay $15,000 probably in tax. I don't know what the inheritance tax in every state is, but say it's 15%. They're already going to pay that 15%. Yeah, they may pay it on the 72, but they get that money right away, and it's a convenience for them to accept that offer, then wait 90 days or 4 months to get the better offer.
Hey, David, just to address that, in California, it doesn't have to be sold at 90% of the appraised value. That's only with a limited, representation, or as if it's a court approved sale. So it's pretty well around
I figured.
the states. So that's not a rule that that's a misnomer that people have.
Okay.
When you have the executor has full authority, they can do that. They just have to make sure that there's justification when they're representing the estate. But it's not a rule that has to be sold at 90% of appraised value. That's only in certain cases. So just to address that. So because your confusion was right. So an executor who has full authority can sell it for what they said. That's why they're the executor. They just have to be justification. If there was someone that came in and said, you sold it for far less. In fact, I went through one of the 3 years ago where someone around the back had sold the property for substantially less than what it was and sold it to one of his investor friends who flipped the property, and then they split the profit, cutting out the other heirs. So I went through a court case, but that's not actually true that it has to sell at 90%. That's why your question was very justified.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, and I ran into that too recently, where the attorney kept saying fair market value for the property, even though that the house was falling down. They wanted fair market value. So I started using that term in my attorney letters. I changed out, I'll make you an offer, or as is. I put fair market value in all my letters to change the key term. So they know that I'll make a fair market value offer to purchase the house or to sell it retail. So same difference. And I can see that happening with a bonded, with a executor that has to have insurance or bonded, because they're not a family member. They're somebody assigned through the family or the will to be the executor. So they may not have I could see how that.
Yeah, in California, they generally have to be bonded, the executors anyhow, but they, again, you just have to cover your bases and go because I had one, it's going back and the property, just like you said, it was a disaster inside. Mm-hmm. And I said, it doesn't qualify for conventional financing. We had to go through that and then just show the pictures. They had an independent agent come through and say the same thing. So it's just, you have to cover your bases, right? So.
And we're talking about numbers too. Out of probably 1,000 houses, you're going to run into one of these probably. So I wouldn't even make it an issue.
Yeah, if they've got full authority, then it's just like you make your offer, and if they say yes, they say yes. They say no, they say no. It's like
that's
next. Right. And then you just say well, I can list it at full price for you, right? So.
Yep. And you could generally, if you're building enough rapport, you could generally pull that out of people on an appointment, see where they want to be, and then you could customize your offer. When I say make an offer, I make an offer to list it, make an offer to sell like an auction, or making an offer to buy it straight out. So I give them 3 options, but as you talk to someone, you ask questions and answer their questions. I just put one under contract that we're talking to the lady for almost 2 years, and she was adamant about getting like $250 for the house. We actually just contracted it for $100,000 less, but it took 2 years to get there of follow up.
David?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Ursula from Michigan. And in our area, reason they use the fair market value, according to our courts, is to prevent someone from working with the executor, selling the property at such a low value to someone that they may know, and then they flip it for higher money. So the fair market value kind of ties the probate person or whoever's working with them in that legal knowledge of was it fair at market value in its as-is condition. And that's when they will order an appraiser, and the appraiser will then do a highest and best use. And so the highest and best use will be based on condition and whatever other conditions is in the market area. So in Michigan, if it's a probate, then they do want a broker price opinion or a CMA, and they may request an appraisal on the property to make sure that the properties are being valued properly for who they consider their customer, and that's the executor and their family.
Okay. Yeah, it's case by case basis on every house. You just got to get to know where the executor's at and what they can and can't improve. But we've done now over 245 probates, and I've rarely ran into any issue of me selling it, assigning it, or buying it for the 50% of the dollar. It's just based on condition and estimates that I provide them. So I think we try to put roadblocks in front of us that eliminate us from either making calls or marketing to these people. And you'll be so surprised if you just get out of your own way, you'll probably be more successful. There's a question here. Is there no inheritance tax? I have no idea how the tax works. I just know they like putting the money into their estate account from the title company, and they figure that out, the PRs. I'm sure there is. I think it's 15% here in Texas. But I don't get too involved in their business. I just want to buy the house.
David, there was a question earlier in the chat from Saul. He
Mm-hmm.
says, "Hi, David. You mentioned a list of books that one could read. Could you please share the list with us?"
Oh gosh. I just recommend going to Amazon and ordering the top probate books. They pretty much all say the same thing, but you just want to understand the process so you could have as you work through probate too, you're going to learn what the title companies need that the attorneys don't do. That's a series of videos that I'm going to start working on with my title company. Is there's things that attorneys do that actually screw up clearing the title to sell the property. So if I could get them to call me prior to doing some things, we could eliminate a lot of hassle on hiring. Attorneys are great, but there's some things that they approve that don't approve for title issues. So,
Cool, thank you. Also, we have Kayla with the hand up. Go ahead, Kayla, and you could press spacebar to unmute yourself.
Hi, a quick question. You talked about that you don't call anymore. What are some contents that needs to be in the letter if we decide to mail to this list?
That's a good question. The contents that I do is I use my letters to build a conversation with myself, basically. So the three things in every letter that I write is an offer to them, what I could do for them, make it real simple, a success story of someone already helped, or a link to that video on YouTube that I could watch. So I encourage you, if you have a successful listing or a closing, always get them on videotape saying what you did for them so you can link to that from your letters. It takes time, I understand. But the contents in a letter, it's just it's a lot of persuasion. I don't mean to brag, but I've just gotten really good at writing letters over the years. So my letters have conversations with people. Like I'll send one after 7 days after sending the first letter to them, and I tell them I sent you a letter 7 days ago. I hope you received that. But if not, here's what was in that letter. And then I want to remind you that I do this for you if you need it. And then I put a success story of helping someone solve that same issue. So it's kind of like storytelling with an offer in that letter, with branded with my brokerage and the CPE and my Marine Corps logo. I will share. Let's look at one of the letters. Let's see if I could share my screen. See if Lou will do it. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, also just wanted to let people know that David is a coach and he does do a coaching session on letters. If
Yes.
you're interested in, finding out more, feel free to message me, and you could also set up a discovery call and we could go over, what the coaching includes and the pricing and all that good stuff.
Yes. So thank you, Lou. Appreciate it. Yeah. So I've got all these letters. It's ridiculous. You don't need all these so I send letters I segment my information, which I suggest you do. This is out of the area templates. and I didn't mean to go over this with this call, but this is my main focus for this quarter. Vacant letters. So when I get a mail returned, they go into a different template. So let's just pull one that you could see, like vacant letters. This is a good example. So I hope this message finds you well. I wanted to reach out because I received a notification that the property at the descendant address, city, state is marked vacant, or has it been sold? I need a question mark. I've sent multiple letters your way, and it seems I missed a great opportunity to connect. And then it just goes into some links and stuff. So it's a very short letter. Some of them are 3-page letters because they're storytelling, but this is basically branding. I get people randomly calling me based on my Marine Corps logo, based on being a police officer. The whole thing builds trust, gives you links back to my website, usually gives an offer and then a story. And then I've always learned that making the phone number bigger and the letter works. But yeah, I do coach on this, and you could buy all my letters if you want them. And I have I'll show you. I can't show you because you can't post the video on YouTube. So YouTube doesn't want any data from personal information. So I just have an Excel sheet that does all this for me.
So I have a question.
Yes.
How can we buy the letters? Like, where do we go for that?
I know that the letters are very important, and me and Bruce are working on something so that we could share them. So I'll leave that to Bruce for the next 30 days, okay?
All right, no problem. Thank you.
But the letters are, what I would suggest you do if you want to be a student of letter writing is to start reading books like this one. It may be controversial to some people and to women, to read dating books or how to convince a woman to go on a date with you, or books like this, the Puppet Master's Bible I'm reading right now. It's just, this may be something that you don't want to do because you don't want to be persuasive or a con artist, I guess you could say, or the way that you use words to make people think a certain way.
Oh, I love that.
I know. I just got to be careful with some people. They may
Yeah, you just gotta be careful, but it's to be influential.
Yes.
But in a respectful way. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a very terrible writer, though.
yeah.
I misspell the word the. My grammar is terrible. I did not pass. I won the spelling bee in 3rd grade, which that was 3-letter words. I'm not the best at letter writing, but I know how to put words together to be persuasive.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I go to ChatGPT and ask for 5 versions of the letter. And then I just put it together. And it takes me, I write 1 letter a day now, basically. And I'm working on I'll show you my assisted living letters. So when we separate the data into assisted living stuff too. This is going to get really cool with y'all, but things that you don't think about yet. So I'm working on my assisted living letter templates. And they're just the addresses of the descendants. So it's like, for instance, here. I recently had the opportunity to assist one of your residents with the sale of their home. I kind of made that up because I helped someone sell their house that had passed away in the assisted living facility. I had no connection to it. I just I was going to sleep one night. I was like, I need to write that as my first sentence. But sadly, they have since passed away. In light of this, I would like to extend my support to any resident who may be looking to sell their homes quickly. So then the offer's there for that and I'm sending it to the community relations director. You could go to ChatGPT and ask for all the titles of assisted living facilities, and this is the best one that came up with.
Okay.
And then you just ask for, I'm just gonna over a 12-month period, I'm gonna send a letter every 30 days to them when it's due. 12 examples of letters. of
Okay.
stories.
Oh,
Let's see. And there's a story here.
well,
These are
people
not
love stories, you know.
yeah.
That's how you catch people's attention. It's the
Yes.
stories. That's the big thing.
Yeah, it's there's a book, what is it called? Storytelling something.
Mm,
But I you got to read those books that are for persuasive thinking.
okay.
If you're always pushing your opinion on people, I call it peeing on their perspective. You're going to pee on their perspective, and you're never going to learn or build rapport with them because you're so worried about what you need. You're not worried about what they need. And then they're
Okay.
going to think you don't care. And if they think you don't care, they're not going to work with you or trust you. So complicated, but it works.
It seems to be working great for you. So thank you for your advice.
Every day I'm working on it. So I don't have even though I have all these letters, I still don't get a high number of calls from the letters, according to what I'm sending. So it always works out to about 1%. So if you send 100 letters out, you may get one phone call one phone call. But that's not going to get you a transaction or a listing. You're going to need 10 of those calls. So you're going to need to send 1,000 letters a month to get 10 calls. 5 of them are going to tell you not to call them or send them letters. 2 of them are probably going to tell you they're not ready, and 3 will actually ask you to come to the house, which is great. I would just like the number 3 to be higher. So we're going to send
Yes.
12,000 mailers out a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Sarah. Both Bruce and David Coach. Let's see. What company do you send letters out with? Just me. We hired people to do it. We don't rely on anybody to send letters. I print the letters, and I hired staff to stuff envelopes and to handwrite the envelope. And it cost me it's about 30 cents a letter to send, and then the price of all the materials and stamps. So around 80 cents a letter. And we're doing right now about 5,000 a month. It's a lot. Yeah, about $4,000 a month on mail plus leads. So spending about $6,000 in just on probate and mail. But that generates over 60,000 a month though. So it's pretty cool. It took me years to rely on my capital to make me money, trust me. I know a lot of people are there. What CRM do I use? Sierra Interactive, but I don't. I technically use it. No, I don't use it the way you're supposed to. Hey, Dave, I got a client who had an appointment with, and he bailed last minute and has stopped responding to my messages and calls. He accepted an offer. That's why. I'm not sure I spooked him or if I was just didn't get his letters yet. His attorney advised him not to speak to me. Have you dealt with this? Just ghosted you, huh? Joseph, unmute yourself. Let's talk about that.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man.
What's up?
Hey.
So yeah,
you may be too slick, man. You may be too slick.
I don't know. I think I might have spooked him, but he was really friendly all leading up to it, and I did all my prep work and I was ready for the meeting, and then I texted him that I was going to be over there in like an hour and a half, and he just was like, "Hey, I need to." He said I'm not done with my meetings, and I know he was dealing with an attorney, but I don't know if his attorney said something to him and he got scared, or like you said, maybe he got an offer, but he didn't really seem like he knew what he was doing with the property yet. So I don't know if he's taken an offer on it.
Yeah, do the Chris Voss text message. Be like, what is it? It's just 3 words. It says, does this mean we're not working together? Just send
That's
that
so
to
funny.
him.
I'm listening to his book right now too. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Those are the 2 books. If you had a book on your list, I would definitely split the difference and then no fee agent or something like that.
No agency fee or something.
Yeah. Just look up Chris Voss's books. I would read the other one before the split the difference, but full fee agent.
Full fee agent. Thank you. Yeah.
You're either the fool or you're the top choice. And it looks like right now you're neither, Joseph. You just got ghosted. So I would text him and be like, does this mean we're not working together?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And just just wait for the reply.
Okay. All right. That's a good idea. Yeah, I've been kind of hung up about it the last few days. Little discouraged about it because I've already invested so much time into them. I know. I'm working on it. It's just
you need more leads. You're focused on that, dude.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna try that text. That's a good idea.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't ever get hold up on one deal or do the numbers because you want to have several people in your pipeline.
Yeah, the pipeline's starting to get. I mean, I've been doing this for I'd say wholeheartedly for probably 3 or 4 months now, and the pipeline's starting to get more full. I would say I'm getting more leads. It's just I'm kind of getting to that. Hopefully, in the next couple of months, those leads will start multiplying because I've been filling that pipeline. So I'm just trying to stick it out. It just sucks because it's my first really good lead that I've had that I was excited about, and I don't know, it just went sideways, or it feels like it is.
I get it. The one I just put under contract for the 147 number. Gosh, it took back and forth that lady nearly 21 days. She's like, my attorney's looking at it. I can't read the small language.
Right.
I got on FaceTime with her several times to go over the contract because she's out of state. It's just she's like, I trust you, Dave. I'll sign it. And then it still took her 3 days to sign it. It was like, oh my God.
I think maybe this is just an assumption, but it seems like with a lot of these older descendants or heirs that are taking on these property, they just kind of move at a slower pace. And I guess gotta talk slower and move slower and act slower. I mean, I think that's maybe the lesson here. I just gotta kind of slow everything down with them.
Man, that's a great topic because you never want, we tend to want to move too fast. And if you just back up and guide them a little bit softer, but you still got to be aggressive to get that appointment and that belly to belly meeting so they know you. They're only going to meet 2 people. They're only going to meet 2, maybe 3 people. And the one person they're going to meet is a family member that's a realtor part-time that works at Best Buy, and then you.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to meet some other wholesaler in his shorts that does it on the weekend. And he's 20 years old. I don't know how old you are, Joseph, but a little bit
older than that.
Yeah, you have the upper hand by being a little bit more professional, being full-time, and then guiding people to what they think they need is important.
So on the probate angle, do you think being able to offer them a thing of value or just, a vendor here or a good resource there just to kind of build that trust, that's a good way to softball them maybe?
I'd be cautious of giving away too much information before they're ready for it.
Right.
Like I always go back to my dad. I didn't grow up with my dad, but back to the business card idea. He said, never give a business card to somebody that doesn't ask for it. So if they're not asking for something, don't give it out thinking that you're going to win somebody over because and if they're not looking at you, if you don't think they're looking at you, I know it's through the phone, but you could feel that they're paying attention. And then if you're on an appointment with somebody and they're not looking at you and paying attention to what you're saying, try not to give the information until someone's looking at you.
Okay.
Same with when I don't know if anyone's a buyer's agent here or used to be, or when I focused on buyers 15 years ago, I would never say anything to them unless they were looking at me.
Okay. That's a good one.
Didn't want to talk to their back. I didn't want to make suggestions. I would go do my thing, let them look at the house, and then I talked to them in the front yard before they had cameras.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. If you're, yeah, I hold back a lot when I hold back a lot until I see a house or I don't want to give everything away. And then if you're giving, it's like attorneys too. When we're going after attorneys for referrals, I don't think they want you to go to their office and visit them, because most attorneys nowadays are digital. They're going to do everything online like we do. They don't want to give a referral because they don't trust you yet, and they don't know. So how do you get in front of them and teach them about your business? It's the same with these people. I'm just thinking out loud with y'all a little bit.
Sure.
It's like, how do you get a referral from somebody that, number one, they don't want to give a referral or an appointment unless they trust you. It seems it's a big ladder to climb, but through hopefully this sponsoring stuff will get me in front of a lot of attorneys.
David, before you go on, about the information, how much you give out, I found I was more successful in understanding the need of the person I'm speaking with. Even if it's someone that you just met, you take 30 seconds to find out something about them, and then you say who you are. Usually, if you say I'm a realtor or I'm a probate specialist or expert, they may inquire, what is that? Then you have your little minute presentation to give them enough to want them to know more. And so you draw them in on giving quality information right away to show them that you are more professional and probably have more knowledge. That's why you're an expert than other people they may meet. So, and then you also, I find that knowing the type of person you're working with, what profession, because some people may not want a lot of information. And if you're working with maybe an engineer or an accountant, they may want that. And if you give them that type of information early on, they respect that. So it's not a one shoe fit all, but it is on our part is taking time to really want them to know, I see you. I want to be able to service you, even though you don't need, you may not know you need my service. So you want to leave them with an impression that I wish I got her number, or I did get her number, and they may call you 2 years later.
Yeah.
And so that's how you build that immediate rapport. So giving information is important. Quality information is valuable. And that's just in knowing.
Yeah, it's spot on. Yeah. You got to fill out every one of these people are different, but the ones that call us usually have a house to sell. So we just got to get to the bottom of what they want.
Circle. All right. Well, thanks, Dave. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's see. Anybody else have a question? I'll show you guys I meant to tell you how I'm going to do this attorney stuff, but I just got my marketing stuff back from Danny. So y'all could copy me if you want. It don't matter. It's going to cost you some money. This is my course, by the way. Attorney marketing, benchmark again. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
So this is a 8 foot by 8 foot banner that's going to go behind my booth. This is all the probate houses we sold in the last 3 years. Any house, any condition. The messages we always measure up for their attorney introduction. And then this is the letter I'm sending out. I sent this to Bruce so you can read it in the mail, but this is a letter I'm sending out right now to 4,000 attorneys. I'll send it twice just so they get it before April 11th. I know I'm duplicating, but I'll send it twice. This is the banner that we'll have next to the booth. And this is a postcard we'll send as well to about 5,000 attorneys that may attend. It has a success story here. Phone number to call. Don't call me, please. It's a business line. We will buy any house, any condition. Reputation matters. We will measure up. This is key. What you'll earn in the earn course is that they don't want to probably give you referrals until you earned it. So we will buy any house, any condition. and they spend so much money to build their business that you want to take care of their reputation. So I came up with Your Reputation Matters, and we will always measure up. And I'm going to hand them a tape measure at the event. And that's our tablecloth for our 8-foot table.
I like that tape measure idea.
Yeah. I got flashlights too, so I'm gonna put a little sticker on there saying I'll brighten your day up if you give me a referral.
Funny.
And you can ask AI, ChatGPT for all these little catchy things. I just put all my bullet points in there and ask for short sayings, so I don't, you don't want to clunk up all your marketing. And then we're gonna have this for We Buy Houses, so it stands out separately from all the purple. But it's going to be We Buy Houses cash offers.
You have to syndicate this, David. You have to syndicate this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like you take this and then you sell your stuff, but not, like onesie, twosie kind of stuff, but, even develop like a brokerage kind of like kind of thing to it.
It sounds complicated.
Nah, you're too good. You're too good. You'll figure it out.
I like hanging out with my two kids right now. It's about the day's about over for us.
I remember when that was your dream, baby. I remember when that was your dream.
To have kids?
Wife and kids, yeah.
I know, man. Yeah, yeah.
Back in the day, I remember you telling us that, and it's like,
Yeah.
So yeah, congrats. I know you.
Yeah, I
you
prayed
worked
for a
hard
big
it,
family,
baby.
and I got 900 Hispanics. That's great. I don't mean any discount to anybody. I love it. I make fun of her all the time. And I inherited 900 family members by marrying Liz. She has a huge family here in Dallas Fort Worth and all over Oklahoma. But yeah, any other questions? We could go over a little bit if you want. Since I was late, I could go to 2:10 if you want. So I'll let you guys know how the attorney stuff goes, but it's just something I'm developing.
I had a quick question. So, are you? And I'm on the investor side. I joined a little late because I just got off a flight. So sorry, but so the letters you're sending, the 5,000 a month or 5,000 letters a month, are those for agency or investments or kind of both?
It's kind of a mix, a healthy mix.
Okay.
Every letter has one offer in there.
Okay.
And then the fourth letter has all 3 offers. So everything builds on the conversation over, gosh, our initial 8 letters and then 18 after that for non-response people. They go out every 60 days after that. So it's a beating, but it's a constant conversation about making an offer.
Are you doing any cold calls too in addition
I'm going to start again, but as of right now, no.
Okay.
We're getting enough business that I can't keep up with if I'm getting probably 5 good calls a week with appointments and probably one solid deal every week now.
Okay. And do you do just Texas or
Yeah, just Dallas Fort Worth.
Oh my God. So that many letters. So it's going out to more than just probate people then probably, right?
No, every probate filing. So I have 10,000 active filings that I market to.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Let's see here.
And that built up over time, right? Because
yeah.
Okay.
I get about 1,000. I get about 1,000 a month. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. So my county in Virginia is only I get about 40 a month, but I'm built up. So I'm now month 2.5 or whatever. So
you need more counties.
Yeah.
I say to people, you need at least 500 leads a month, and you're still not going to get. You need to figure out how to get 1,000 leads a month.
Okay.
And that's probate filings.
I'm only doing the ones where it shows they have real estate in it. So, but
that's good.
I know that it's not counting the trust, so I need to start opening those up and seeing if it's a trust, because that if it's a trust, then it shows as like a business owns it kind of versus a person, which I need to start opening up those files and finding if it's a trust, and then I can still market to those, which that'll probably double my stuff right there.
Yeah, it would. I like the 1,000 number. It seems doable.
Okay.
We're ramping up to do 3 brands again. This is going to be a lot better this time. So I don't. Bruce and I will probably work on a letter coaching thing too. I did a coaching call a couple weeks ago explaining how I send all my letters out.
Oh, cool.
But we're ramping up to go back to 3 brands where we have 3 different brands, like me as a brand, my wife as a brand, and then Just Cash Out is our buying company. So one's corporate, one's female, one's male. So if they want to call somebody, they call who they like, basically.
Awesome. I'm from Virginia, but I just landed in Dallas Fort Worth. I think I brought you guys some amazing weather today, by the way.
You're here. What are you doing here?
I got a business meeting.
Nice.
Just a 2-hour business meeting they wanted me to fly down for, but I'm not a big traveler, but I have to do what I have to do.
Nice. Where's your, not tell me where your hotel is, but what city you're going to?
I'm going to Frisco, and then we have dinner at Cowboy Stadium tonight or something. I guess there's some
That's
nice
cool.
restaurants and
Yeah.
in the state. People I'm meeting with are friends with the owners and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah,
that's cool.
Oh, this is good. I hate missing a minute of these meetings. There's
this is from. I finally feel like in my career that there's a few things I'm missing with YouTube and some marketing that I want to add. It's another $3,000 a month that I add in the next quarter.
Yeah.
But I honestly feel after 17 years of real estate, we're in such a good workflow. It's amazing the way that this has grown with probate, and I'm very fortunate that I found probate back in 2013 by accident. And I love just focusing on that mentality of people and the attorneys and the age group. The age group is incredible to work with. They're all appreciative.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll work the rest of my time, another 20 years in real estate, and only work probate leads. We buy 13 counties of leads right now.
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't mind spending that money at all. I think it's $2,100 a month. And that's pennies in a bucket.
Can I ask one more question? And
Yeah.
it goes back to providing value and what the other young lady was talking about as well. But I was just putting the letter in the first mailing, and then I decided, okay, I'm going to print out some inherited property checklists that's 2 pages long on canary yellow. I mean, the letter is super professional, but now I start putting the checklist in there. Hey, I hope you find this checklist helpful for you. Would you guys do that, or would you say, no, don't do that yet until they ask for it? Kind of like your dad's business card thing.
I don't know. It just seems like too much to print and to
It is
stuff
a
in an envelope.
It is, frankly, it makes the envelope puffier. But
yeah, so 3 or 4 pages is fine.
Okay.
And they're going to open it based on that. So it's expires. It's called what is it? A thick envelope or something like that.
Oh, okay. And it's interesting because I ordered these
Hey, I'll tell you this, not to interrupt you, because it's on top of my mind. It's not what you send in the letter. It's not the contents in the letter. It's not what you write in the letter. It all is consistency of sending a letter about 8 times to the person. And they're going to call if they have a house to sell, they're going to call between 3 and 6 months.
Okay, that's awesome because I got everything up to do 8 months. But I'm like, I work from home, so I can do my envelopes and.
I'm thinking you could send. I'm convinced that you could send a handwritten letter to every one of these people and just say, "Call me when you're ready to sell." And that's the bare
Yeah.
minimum I put in the
Wow.
letter.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, this is really good stuff. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of the 13 counties. I'm up to 3 right now, and
Put it on a credit
so
card and just go at it. Make sure you're marketing to them though.
awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I like the idea of the repetition. So, and I got everything set up to go 8 times. So I'm doing a letter and then I'm doing postcards, but I'm going to do that letter 8 times too.
Yeah.
So.
And it could be the same letter regardless.
Oh,
it
cool.
doesn't, to me, I don't think it matters. I think it's consistency. I really do. And
Very
I think it's if they want to call a guy, a lady, or a corporation.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's those 3 things. And I'll get on these calls for the next year and I'm going to hammer this out. I want to get my calls, you know, I think a manageable level is probably 25 inbound calls a week. And that would be probably 4 or 5 houses under contract a week.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. That's very cool.
I think it's really doable.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Awesome.
David, do you recommend buying old probate leads?
Yeah, if you're comfortable with the company, yeah, I would, as long as you get all the data you need from that, you know, the descendant, the phone numbers, the addresses, and the attorney's information. As long as you get all those, and then eventually build up to marketing to all of them.
Yeah.
And,
what I'm doing before I set out like the second letter and then the third letter, just to not waste money, is I just check Zillow real quick to see if it's sold. You know what I mean? Since the last, just in case they listed it or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not too concerned with that. I should be. Usually a realtor will call me up and tell me they sold it. So I don't even worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
Because most of your people, I would say, it's 80% of your list, they probably are never going to sell a house or even own a house with the probate. It's 20% that actually probably will do something. And then there's 20% of that list that actually work with you. So it's not like you're missing out on a lot of business. It's just the business is not there, but it is there. It's very healthy, very financially healthy. And probably the best leads I've ever ran into in my adult life. So
awesome. Awesome. Well, guys, I just got to the hotel. Thank you for everything. Appreciate it. Check out.
Anybody else?
Yeah, so there's a few questions in the chat here from Kevin. Hi, David. About insurance, what kind do you carry to protect if you have a property under contract and you schedule contractors to go in and they cause some property damage or someone gets hurt?
Oh man, I don't have any insurance for that. I don't worry about that, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's some things are just. I'm not Walmart, so if they want to sue me, what are they going to get?
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see. Carl's asking if can we reach out to you directly to pick your brain? I appreciate all of your advice. Thanks.
I would prefer let's schedule calls through Bruce if you would. I mean, because when y'all call if y'all call that number that I posted, it comes across as a money call. So it's like I want to answer it, and then it's y'all asking questions, and I'm like, oh, I'm not in a place to answer questions when I'm out driving around or looking and prospecting. So just bear with me. I would rather y'all just schedule a time and we could talk.
Yeah, so David is a coach, so if you're interested in coaching with David, you could book a discovery call and we could go over all of the details in that. Okay, so Lisa's asking, hi Dave, are you still a real estate agent?
Yes, a broker. Yes, 100%. I love it. Now, do I list a lot of houses? Not anymore. I used to list over 80 a year. So it's definitely a different business now.
I'd like to add to that. Thank you for answering. How do you represent yourself as a broker in all of the letters and notifications? Because I understood that I first have to say, obviously I'm a real estate agent and then I'm also a probate specialist.
Yeah, that's exactly what you say in the letter. And then you make an offer that you can, if you're willing to buy the house, you make that offer as well. I mean, it's a mixed message, but it seems to work. And maybe that's where maybe running the issue, but I don't want to change that yet. Because even though you say you're a broker, but you have the ability to solve their issue. So, or a realtor. I like to say that I'm not going to ask you to make any repairs to the house like other agents. Stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
I think the brokerage listing my logo and my license on there, and it just adds trust over the wholesalers or just people from other countries calling them. It just I think it gives you a different authority in your letter. Are y'all trying to sell me insurance or something?
All right, Dave, I got a question.
Yeah.
This would be a good time to bring it up because I keep going back and forth with my fiance about this. So
I'm not
I
buying
don't
any
have
insurance
my
from you, Joseph.
I have a broker for that. No, I don't personally have my license yet. And she does, and her mother does, and her mother has a really good real estate business. And I've been on the fence about it because, as a realtor, there's like limitations and liabilities that go with that on how you can advertise. And my argument was maybe I could have a better angle of finding leads and stuff like that, or how I advertise to them. But I'm learning that a lot of these are coming up as listing opportunities too. And I'm just wondering, since you just had that whole spiel about why you like having your license, do you think that's the move, or do I have my bases covered with her and her mother having their license already?
No, because I think you have to call someone else in to handle the listing. So
Correct.
I like to be everything to everybody. So whatever they need, whatever they're looking to get for the, most of the people calling off the letters have distressed real estate. So they're really not looking to sell at retail. And in my market, at least, if they have a house that is marketable, they generally have a friend that will list the property. But to get back to your question, I would be available because it builds trust, and if they can find you online about you helping other people with Google reviews, I think it just helps. And then don't come across as a weekend warrior type of person.
Okay, that's fair. But then you also mentioned that you say broker. Are you also a broker, or are you just a real estate agent?
No, I took the test twice. I became a broker 17 years ago.
Now for us, like the broker they hang up with, it's like 16%. And I'm like, that's a lot if we're going to be doing a lot of listings. So is there value in maybe getting a broker's license?
Yes.
Or is the liability too high?
No. I've never been sued and I've never been in trouble because it's all about I'm not trying to trick anybody on anything. I give people the comps. I give them the opportunity to list it if they want to hire me. But by the time you explain to them the listing fee, the time on market, and the money they pay in difference in taxes in the net sheets, they're most likely, if it's a distressed property, they want to deal with any kind of flaky buyers backing out because the AC is 5 years old or 10 years old. It's just certain conversations you have. But I would be available and I would go through the roof on trust. So I would get a broker's license and make your own company like I have. I've always had my own brokerage. And to this day, people still call me to join their EXP or their Real or because they have the latest technology. No, thank you.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to look. And then you have to carry insurance as well, though, as a broker, correct?
Yes. E&O insurance, about $100 a month. But it doesn't cover people going in these houses and contractors getting hurt. My gosh, that's never happened. So I don't even know how that would work. If you get
if a
guy,
contractor gets hurt, aren't they subbed? They subbed out, so they're responsible for their own injury.
I make them all sign a 3-page waiver before they do any work on houses I own, but still, if they want to sue you, they're going to sue you.
True.
If someone goes to look at a house and they get hurt, oh gosh, I just never ran into that. It's just, I'm not hiring the best people. I'm not hiring. My contractors are not. I don't know. I got one guy that just makes $50 a day and he's happy. So if he fell and hurt himself, that's on him, I guess. He can't walk in a house. I don't know.
But if an injury like that came up, would they go after you personally or the brokerage, or like because you're a realtor? I mean, how would they even come after you?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just trying to cover my
No,
behind.
I wouldn't even worry about it.
It
If they,
depends.
I wouldn't call them again.
But it depends on what he's asking as who they would go after. But if you're in the business, then you're hiring someone that you, especially new people or just with the company, it's to your benefit to have some type of insurance in place, unless you have an LLC to protect your personal.
Let's don't go down that rabbit hole on this call. I mean,
Okay.
you could do everything you can just to sit at home, not do a jack crap. I'm sorry, but I'm just too risk averse. I'm getting out there prospecting every day, and I'm gonna hire people that hopefully they can walk through a house without getting hurt. I'm just not thinking about that. Let's don't go down that on this call. I appreciate all you guys, but yeah, let's.
And they can also research it.
Yeah. It's like there's levels of there's some conversations I don't like to have where how do you write handwritten letters on your or how do you make a business card? I don't know. Just some things that are I don't know. Don't need to I guess common sense, I guess.
Well, it's called don't invite negativity into your life.
Yeah. Or just don't think about it. Yeah. I hope nobody gets hurt in the house. We're going through some really rough properties. I mean, I had a guy when I was a buyer's agent fall through the roof on a brand new construction house, and he went back the next day and hired someone to fix it. But he was inspecting the attic and he fell right through the ceiling, right over me. I was like, my gosh! And he still bought the house. It brings up that memory.
Did he get a discount for that, or
No, he still had to pay $1,500 to get the sheetrock fixed. Crazy.
full price?
They just and it was 3 days before closing. So yeah, I had a contact for him to fix it. So yeah, it
David,
was during when the appraiser was there too, so it was even worse. It's like everything and that's when I needed that $7,000 check too. It's like, my God, now it's going to be a week delay to get my commission check. Like, oh my gosh. We got so many things going on. If I have a contractor go to a house and they can't walk through the house without getting injured, we got more issues than I know of. I just sent an electrician to see how we get the meter on today on the house. And he's cutting down trees to get the wires in line he's doing all that without even charging us. So, it's just things you got to do. Take action.
David, do you go after distressed and properties more that come on the probate list?
Oh, I love distressed properties. Yeah, I love them. Those are my favorite. That's the only things we deal with. What does that guy say, Brent? I can't remember the saying. The uglier, the better paycheck, or something like that. Love it.
Thanks for your time today, Dave, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I used to go after the mid-luxury houses. I used to get excited for 350 to 750 houses. Now I don't even want to take on that business. I got 2 leads right now. I got to do comps on, and it's been a week that I even looked at it. It's like it gets to the point where it's not even worth it. Crazy. If it's not probate, I don't really want to work it anymore. Even though there's title issues with every probate, and they seem like they won't close at the last minute. But man, it's such a adrenaline rush.
Hi, Dave. It's Liza again.
Hey,
So, just so I'm understanding, you as the broker, you're making three offers in these letters, all at various times. Are obviously the fair market value is the fair market value at the time. After the repairs, and the other two offers, are you purchasing these properties as another business, or do you have investors waiting, or do you or assigners waiting in line for these properties? I mean, how does that work?
all the above. Yeah,
Because I
all the
didn't.
above.
Okay. And do you get letters or contracts with these individuals prior to making offers to these properties that they are interested?
Repeat that last. Do I get contracts?
So if you have a house that has the potential that you want to put offers on or make
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah, three different offers. Do you have contracts with the potential investors or signers that they are actually interested in that house, or do they give you like a carte blanche blanket, go find me houses? Like
No,
how I'm trying to
I put it
understand.
I put everything under contract and then advertise it to the investors.
Okay, contract in the MLS?
No, you can sell it offline as an assignment. I don't know what state you're in. So what state are you in?
I'm in Virginia.
Okay, it's the same, I think. I just disclose to the person what I'm doing. So if they want to take my cash offer, I'm going to get a partner that's going to help me fund it. Or we can sell like an auction where I highest and best price online on MLS. Or if they want to do some repairs, we suggest them do, you know, if you want to do some of these repairs to make a better price on MLS or list it as a listing. It's just it's all just completely disclosed, and you're going to find out the more you tell someone, the quicker they want to get out of that transaction
Mm-hmm.
to sell the house.
So you have people waiting in line. So if they wanted to
Yeah.
close in 30 days, you could say that to them. Look, I've got,
Oh,
if
we
this is
close
the
in 4
price that you
days.
want, we can close tomorrow if you want. Okay.
If they have the letters of testamentary and it's one heir, we could close in 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah, in my letter I say 4 to 14 because every other investor is saying 7 to 21, so I put 4 to 14. It just rhymes better for me.
So as a real estate agent, should we be going out and building a team kind of because I feel like I'm starting at the very bottom, even with the
Yeah,
first interaction, and I don't have those. I'm not the Swiss Army knife yet. I don't have those
nice.
these different things to offer them. Um, but I guess I got to figure out how to build this team so that I have these options. And then how do I make money? Obviously, if I'm giving it to an investor, how do I make money on the deal? Because I have to get paid through the brokerage.
Yes, or you could create your own LLC or company and purchase them and double close on them if you feel more comfortable with that.
I guess if I had the money, because how would you purchase them straight out like that? I mean, you're
You just get a
self-employed.
hard money lender to do transactional funding for you,
Okay.
and they're more than happy to take your money.
Okay.
So as soon as you find the deal, you just be real careful on people online, but you'll find some local or people you work with, that they have $150,000 because you just sold their house. Say, look, you want to make $5,000 and your assignment fee is going to make you 30. So you pay $5,000. They'll be willing to take your money.
Join Pace Morby group, and you'll find tons of beginning new investors with money is one way. If you text message me, my number's up there. I can even send you a cash buyer list that has from
There you go.
different states.
Yeah,
So
and
as far as that goes, but there's every city has tons of. Reach out to a title company and
Yep.
Get the names of people that have bought 3 or more homes with cash in the last 2 years. Another
And you
way
can
to
look on
get them.
MLS and send them letters too. So you could look up cash transactions in MLS and just send a letter to the people that, if the house hasn't sold yet and they're still getting mail, or if they, you could find their mailing address on, for us, in the tax records. For, unless they do an LLC, you have to do a little more digging, but it's worth it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Or sometimes when we sell a house, we put a sign out front saying, looking for investors, call this number. You'll get a lot of wasted people. It's that's a little harder. You got to verify all your investors. I wouldn't put them on. I used to have a short list. Now I have about 6 investors that I just sell the houses to. You narrow down and you figure out who's the players. That is difficult to build, but it will build if you work on it.
Just tell people, David, your what you do purchase wise on a home, percentage wise, cash minus repairs. Kind of what's your ticket to paradise, so to say.
I just say it's $100,000 below what Zillow is listing the house for. If in my market a normal house will sell for 350, an older house is probably 250, and we need to buy it around 150. And I do, when I walk through, I could give them a quick Excel sheet on what I'm going to spend on the remodel. It generally works out to about 70% minus repairs. And that's another thing too, when you're talking about discussing comps. If they're not ready to have that conversation or listen to you, I don't even have the conversation. I just either leave it with them or don't even leave it with them. They're not interested. And trust me, we're going on more appointments than we're securing. It's just part of the game.
Awesome. Well, thank you, David. I think we probably should wrap it up.
Okay. An hour and a half. Good.
Yeah.
Let's do one more question. Anybody have one more question?
There was one in the chat.
Okay.
Let's see here. It was about from Cameron. I'm partnering with an estate planning attorney to go to senior centers. Any ideas for other places we should visit?
Partnering with the state planning attorney and senior. Yeah. I would go to the museums. I would go to McDonald's. I'd go to Whataburger. No, I mean, that's just for me. I think for me personally, that's a waste of time, Cam. I know that it's a great thing to build up that stuff. I just want a list to mail to. Like, we are going to send letters to through all my probate data. I've found 463 assisted living facilities, and they're not all big facilities. They are single family homes. So I'm just going to mail to them now and ask for the referral over and over and over forever. So, is it going to get me a deal? I don't know yet, but it seems like it would do it.
Someone did ask, how do you feel about postcard marketing?
I say stay the heck away from it. Unless you just if you just want to send me the money, I'll take your money. I mean, if we're trying to build up a conversation with people and have a conversation, you really can't have that with a postcard. Are you selling like postcards are good for selling going out of business sale, right? For furniture, or going out of sale, or a just listed postcard. If you're going to send 18 months of those. But a lot of people just want to send one postcard and expect a huge return. If you're going to send any mail, be consistent. Don't worry about the messaging yet. Just be consistent and get that content of that letter to somebody so they know you're in business, number one. Give them a reason to look you up, number two. Be findable online with reviews, and then answer the calls when they do call you. Usually when we send mail, I have to be on the phone with earbuds in my ear 3 days after the mail hits. So we send mail technically on a Wednesday, and I want the mail to get there on Saturday, so they open it on Sunday. But don't do that. That's just that's too analytical. Just send the mail. But always take the call and be ready to go on the appointment.
Do you have a Google business phone? Because you said that that's a dedicated, that 817 number is dedicated. So that's not your personal line where your wife and your kids and all of that. It's obviously
No.
a business phone.
Yeah, I've got 11 different phone numbers. So it's different lead types. And they're cheap. I mean, it's $4 to register the number, and it's, I don't know. I don't think it even cost me. I think it's $20 a month for the whole thing. But it's not Google numbers because I don't want any delay in answering it. I think Google has something where it warns people that it's a Google number or something. But
So
again,
are there live numbers like Mint or something? What do you have, different cell phones like in front of you, or just one, everything goes to one cell phone?
one cell phone. It's forwarded.
I gotta
I
read
used
up on
to
this
I
one.
used to send that number to somebody else, but nobody could take a call like you can for a deal that you're spending money on,
David,
unless you train them really good. But yes, Nora.
I was just wondering, where do you buy your phone numbers?
It's just through my CRM company. It's to Twillo, Twillo. I don't even deal with the company. I just register with the CRM and it gives me a number. So I'm sorry, that's not more helpful, but if you have a CRM, client relationship management tool, you could probably get numbers to them now. So that's where you need to start, is you need a way for them to register first when the call comes in. Right, Nora?
That's a whole other video on organizing.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking in my head, like, how do I explain that? Because I've gone through a lot of, like, CallRail. There's a CallRail company. There's phone companies that have numbers. You want the ability to record the inbound call, and you don't want any beeping when you call them or they call you. You want the number to go right to you, no delay. And I usually wear earbuds in my ear, and I'm not fancy. I don't have the Bluetooth, but because I lose them all the time. But yeah, and that's the unfortunate part of the business, is the inbound calls, but it's nice because it's a money call, but you got to be available and you got to know that someone's calling you on a certain number. But we use CallRail currently, and then I have Sierra Interactive. They have their own system for phone numbers in there that I could register a number and keep it. Or you could bring your other numbers in, port them. That doesn't really help if you're beginning. Grasshopper is one of them too. Grasshopper, but don't. Just another system to learn.
Cool. Thanks, David.
Yeah, Lou. I think that'll do it, right?
Yep. Well, thanks everybody for joining in. Having Dave Pinnell here. Again, if you want to get in touch with David, perhaps explore coaching with David, feel free to book a discovery call with me. I'll pop in the link one last time. And this call will be uploaded to YouTube as soon as it's edited and uploaded. And yeah, if you aren't familiar with our YouTube page, it's Probate Mastery on YouTube. You could find all of the previous recordings on these Tuesday coaching calls. And then also, just to let you know, Bruce does do a Thursday call for all the leads, very similar to this as well. So to join that one, it's really easy. You go to alltheleads.com, go to their training section, scroll all the way down, and then there'll be a Zoom link there to join the Thursday probate mastermind with all the leads. Great. Thank you, David. Thanks, everybody.
Welcome. Bye-bye.